Hey guys, Willie here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2025 Kia Carnival LXS.
And a big thanks to George and the rest of the management and staff here at Century Kia in Tampa, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car or SUV in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And as for George.
And as most of you guys probably know by now, the Carnival replaced the Sedona as Kia's minivan back in 2022. Updated this year for 2025 inside and out, featuring a new grille, updated headlights and taillights, as well as new wheel options. Inside, the 2025 Carnival gets a new climate infotainment display with Kia's dual 12.3-inch screens, and there are 5 trims available for the 2025 Carnival, ranging from the $36,000 base LX up to the $50,000 SX Prestige that we already reviewed on this channel. Here we have the LXS sitting just above the LX with a $38,000 base price. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So up front, you see your flickering LED headlamps. They're not, or daytime running lights, are not actually flickering in real life. Just the way the camera picks up the LEDs, we get a 4-piece projector LED setup for the high and low beams. Updated grille for 2025 with smoked chrome slots to contrast the flat black. Pretty large airflow for the radiator for this naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6. We get full front parking sensing. That's appreciated with a relatively base trim and a beautiful red metallic paint color. Hopefully you can pick up the sparkles here in the Florida sun. Take a step back though, hopefully you can pick up the front styling. The wheel and tire setup, although this is a relatively base trim, is also pretty upgraded. We mentioned we get new wheel designs here for 2025, and it's a pretty flat black design. Not flat in the sense of the color, flat in the sense of there's not much airflow in there, which helps out the aerodynamics quite a bit, allowing us to get over 20 combined miles per gallon here. Anyway, these are 17-inch rims wrapped in Nexen Rhodian GTX all-season tires. The dimensions are 235/65 R17s. The 65 series sidewall should keep the ride quality extremely plush. We'll see how the 235 wide tires put the power to the ground, because this is a very powerful V6 engine. We have 2-tone contrasted mirrors, LED turn signal on them, smart access for the driver and a front passenger with push-button activated rear doors. They take a quick look at this window sticker here for the 2025 Carnival LXS with a flare red metallic paint color and a toupe off black interior. Standard features, you can pause, take a look and see everything that we would get on the base LX and everything that we get on the upgraded LXS package. We get 8-passenger seating with second row child minding seat, power driver seat with lumbar, Syntex seats, heated front seats, and a leather wrapped steering wheel with shift knob also being leather. $265 for the floor mats, $1,395 for the destination charge, totaling us out a tick over $40,000. But considering the options and features and power plant here, that is a very good value considering what we get. Over 20 combined MPGs, 18 in the city, 26 on the highway. We get some aluminum trim for the rear end styling. The gas cap is pushed to open. No easy fill, and you can throw in regular fuel here for this naturally aspirated V6. We get the same rear wheel and tire setup. The only difference is a smaller brake caliper, full LED taillights, and they connect for the most part. They don't connect for the lit up function, but the panel itself connects, making it look pretty premium out rear. Updated Kia badge. Shout out Century Kia in Tampa, Florida for helping make this review possible. Carnival in the lower left corner, rear parking sensing. The spoiler integrates the rear wiper, so you don't just see the rear wiper sticking out like a sore thumb. Hopefully you pick up the exhaust tip in the lower right corner. And speaking of the exhaust tip, let's fire up this 3.5-liter V6 and hear how she sounds. Alright guys, that was the sound of the 3.5-liter V6 sold by Kia for the 2025 Carnival, and it sounds okay, cranking out a very healthy amount of power at 290 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque, made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission, sending the power to the front wheels. You can expect 0 to 60 in 7 seconds, if not quicker, if you get a really good launch. So considering the size of this vehicle, that is very respectable. The very consistent feeling power band too. The hydraulic struts are appreciated. We can shut this hood right down, take a step back, and walk around this 2025 Kia Carnival LXS one more time. And this might be one of the more loaded vehicles considering how close we are to a base model. The mirrors also have blind spot monitoring if we didn't mention. Up top we get soft touch materials, aluminum door handles, some flat silver for the middle portion, soft touch in the center, and a very soft touch armrest. Solid storage, auto one touch for the driver, power windows for the rest of the passengers, four-way adjustable mirrors, lock and unlock, solid bass sound system. It's not going to blow you away. You can upgrade to a Bose or Harman Kardon for the higher trims, but for a bass system it sounds okay. Ton of storage, you'll fit probably 3 or 4 footlongs, 24-ounce water bottle. The seats are Syntex. You get this on the LXS. It's perforated, heated, not ventilated. You go up to the SX Prestige, you will get ventilated seats. Four-way adjustable lumbar. You can recline, drop, lift, and slide the front seats. But taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So foot on the brake, engine start, stop, and everything fires right to life. So of course, compared to the SX Prestige we reviewed, we're not looking at the same level of luxury in this interior, but considering the difference in price, we're talking about like a $12,000 difference, it is surprisingly close. We still get the screens, leather wrapped steering wheel, solid 9 and 3, fat 10 and 2, the controls, we have voice commands, AM, FM, Sirius, volume and skip, favorites, hang up and answer your phone calls. The horn area is hard plastic, the horn itself, pretty loud and aggressive. People should be getting out of your way. We'll do a window check. We don't get dual panes in the LXS, but the higher trims do get them. We get our infotainment adjustments, lane keep assist, radar cruise control. Speaking of the infotainment adjustments, we can check out our advanced safety features screen, tire pressure, current trip, sensory fueling since last reset, and a turn-by-turn screen as well. My personal favorite to look at all times would be the tire pressure. We can also see our tach on the right side and speedo on the left, mileage down below with the fuel level up top. The stocks have a satisfying click, auto headlamps, auto high beams, no auto rain sensing wipers, but the higher trims do get them. Tilt and telescoping steering column, traction control, you can disable interior brightness too. Fuse box, some faux aluminum outside of the air vents, stitching for the dashboard, 12.3-inch touchscreen. This is our home screen. Excellent response. Kia has seriously upgraded their system compared to what we used to get before. The navigation screen, we can close out of all of these, check out the response. Also excellent. Kia and Hyundai were always really good with their infotainment screen, but in the sense of response, touch response, it was starting to get a little bit dated. Now this is one of the best responding systems in the business. My personal favorite screen would be the map, so we'll leave it there beneath the more aluminum outside of the air vents, hazards in the center, updated climate and infotainment interface too. Right now we're looking at our dual zone climate control with the rear adjustability for the climate functioning as a third zone climate. If you don't want to look at the climate and adjust the media, you can press this button up top. Now the temperature adjustments turn into a volume and tune dial with shortcuts for the 12.3-inch touchscreen with home, map, search, seek, track, media, favorites, and the setup. Beneath that, 2 USB-C ports. I'm currently charging a bunch of stuff in the glove box, which is decently spacious, but not quite as spacious as some of the competition. Speaking of spacious, let's just check it out. You'll fit about 15, maybe 20 license plates in there, but you should be able to fit a pair of shoes with no problem. Beneath that ton of storage, you'll fit probably 7 or 8 phones down there, the gear selector control, and the 8-speed automatic transmission. The backup camera has excellent resolution, guidance lines, and trajectory with front and rear parking sensing. Throwing right back into park, manual shift controllers on the gear selector, drive mode select. We get sport, smart, eco, and normal mode. We'll start the review off in normal, try out sport, try out eco, and just see what the differences are. Electronic parking brake with auto hold. You'll fit 2 32-ounce water bottles in the cup holders. Heated seats. You can turn off the parking sensors and access the camera at all time. More storage. Pretty soft center console armrest. The center console space is impressive. You're fitting 8 1-liter bottles of soda in there. We already checked out the glove box. The rear view mirror is basically frameless, but it's not auto dimming. You got to pull this flappy thing to dim it. The interior lights do not appear to be LED, but still should do the job. You can open up the second row doors with a click of a button as well, and you can turn off the power door as well if that's what you prefer. Anyway, that's about it though, guys, for the front seat of this 2025 Kia Carnival LXS. Let's hop out back. So as we mentioned earlier, this button right here is more of a smart access function. It doesn't just open the door with a click of a button. You got to press, pull it back, and push the door open manually. I know, really big deal. But anyway, the second row seats are still that Syntex material with stitching, okay bolstering, not the most bolstering, but pretty adjustable for the second row seats. You can fold them down. You got to pull that latch, unfortunately, again, in order to lift them back up. There's also adjustments for the back and forth function, really adjustable seats. They're not quite as adjustable as the captain's chair package for the SX Prestige seat package we reviewed, where you can literally slide the seats back and forth. But I prefer this because with that seat package, you had to access the third row from the middle, whereas here, you can fold the seats down and slide them forward and have, in my opinion, easier access for the third row. But second row, the floor is very low, so you really don't need to use this grab handle to access it. And with the seat all the way back, this is all the way back, I have about 2 feet of knee room. Unbelievable space. Headroom, I got about 3 inches. So if you're under 6'10", you should be able to sit in the second row of the Carnival with no problem. You get mat pockets behind both of the front seats, USB-C ports, 12 volt, a little bit of storage. You'll fit 2 24-ounce bottles and a nice area for the grab handle of a mug or a cigarette pack if that's what you prefer to shove in there. The air vents blow directly into your face, third zone climate control. We don't get a center cubby, but we can fold this center seat down and it functions as a center cubby with some storage and 2 cup holders. Same thing with the mug holder. You could also pull a latch behind the seat, and this allows you to lift this entire center seat out of the way and have captain's chairs if that's what you prefer. But I personally prefer to just leave the seat here. It has to be realigned on the rails. I'll do that off camera. That's about it though, guys, for the second row. Super spacious. We can pull this seat forward, slide it up, and access the third row very easily. I prefer this over the seat package that we reviewed on this channel. And as you see, super spacious. We can pull the seat back to the furthest back setting. And even in the furthest back setting, I still have over 1 inch of knee room. Headroom, I have about 1 inch, maybe 2. So really one of the most spacious vehicles on the road today. This is with 2 feet of knee room for the second row passenger. You can slide this seat up 2-3 inches and fit somebody that's like 6'7" in this third row. This is just as spacious as the biggest full-size SUVs we reviewed in this channel when it comes to third row and second row space. Ton of storage here too. You'll fit a 24-ounce bottle, a couple cigarette packs, like 4 more over here, USB-C port. The armrest is just hard plastic, large window, speaker, additional air vents that blow directly into your face. Just overall, unbelievably premium vehicle. We can slide this seat forward, very easy process getting in and out. Put the seat back where we had it. You gotta like use the latch to really put the seat back. Put this door back as well. And taking a step out towards the cargo space, underneath the Kia badge is a button. We don't have the electrically opening lift gate here, big whoop. We have just about every single other option and feature. So the third row up, the cargo space really cuts down, allowing you to maximize this space insanely. Even with the third row up, this is competitive with most compact, some mid-size SUVs in terms of storage. To fold the seat back down, you just pull these latches. It's a pretty easy overall process. I've never been able to be super good at it, but we figured it out with the floor mats down below. This is about as flat of a floor as you're gonna get. Hopefully you get a decent idea on camera. I'll leave a link right here, show you the exact amount of space with the third row up, third row down, and with the second row down. Huge amount of space, and the floor is low. At 6 feet tall, my knee is like above the step-in, so if you have older or smaller pets, they won't have any issues hopping back here. To shut the trunk right down, we can do exactly that. Take a step back, walk around this 2025 Kia Carnival LXS. One more time, it is a beautiful minivan, and I don't think I ever thought that I was gonna say that. When Kia released this Carnival, I didn't know whether to call it a minivan, MPV as Kia calls it, or an SUV considering its ruggedness, V6, and overall practicality. It's definitely one of the most practical and powerful vehicles in around the $40,000 price point. And speaking of power, let's take this 2025 Kia Carnival LXS out for a drive and see what it's got. All right guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all new updated 2025 Kia Carnival LXS. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impressions, steering is very light in normal mode. It's sharp and direct, but you just really don't get any feel. Not something that you would necessarily need from a minivan, but it's also not something that you get. The sharpness is appreciated. Ride quality is really good with these 65 series sidewall tires, and it's very quiet in here, although we only get the single pane windows. Throttle response in normal mode is good. It's not quite as booming as the Telluride with its larger 3.8 V6. Although the power numbers are about the same, the Telluride does feel a little bit snappier off the line, but still very, very solid amount of torque. I prefer this over a Turbo 6. Really quiet bump. Great composure. Brakes feel good. Try it out in sport mode, see what changes up. Steering gets a tiny bit heavier, throttle gets more sensitive. About half throttle. It really picks up after about 3,500 RPM. Typical of most variable valve timing V6s. Still quiet on the concrete pavement. Rides over the bumps really well. This is a lot of vehicle for $40,000. In sport mode, just the slightest push of the pedal begins to accelerate you at a pretty solid rate of speed. Try out body roll and turning radius test over here. Brakes again still feel really good. Body roll, you do feel some, would expect with the minivan, but the turning radius, as you guys see, is really sharp. About third throttle in sport. Get up and go really well. We can try one out off the line in sport mode, then throw it back into eco and finish off like that. But sport mode, off the line, on the gas. Whoop. Traction control. There we go. Whew, screamer up top. Gets up and goes really well. With front wheel drive, I wouldn't expect you to get 0 to 60 really in the 6s, only because of the limiting traction. I really wish they offered this vehicle with an optional all-wheel drive system, especially if you live in colder climates. I feel like an all-wheel drive variant of this minivan would really be practical. Take it out of sport mode, try her out in eco, see what changes up. Steering gets really light again. It was pretty light in sport, but a lot lighter in eco. Throttle pedal is a lot more dead in eco mode, to be expected. This is where you're going to average over 20 mpgs. But outside of throttle and steering, really not a whole lot changes. Maybe shift points, but that goes hand in hand with the throttle. Brakes feel the same. We can open her up out here a little bit more. Looks like a good opportunity. Yeah, a lot less jolting of a sensation, but still powerful, as you guys can see. Try out another real world turning radius as soon as we get the chance. Looks like we have the chance, and we'll try out this active steering system. Kia has had just about the best active steering system in the business, and check this out. Take my hands off the wheel. It keeps us in the lane. It will yell at me pretty shortly to put my hands back on the wheel, but really impressive system. When the lines break up, it does get a little bit sketchy, so I'll just put my hand a little bit closer, but with solid lines, there is absolutely nothing to worry about. I'll put my hands up in case you don't believe me that I'm not using any assist from my hands. We'll try out some passing power though, because this guy's crawling. Even in eco mode, decent amount of passing power. You can feel the lane keep assist hugging me in the lane. Boom. See, the lines get faded and it gets really suspicious, but still does the job. Overall, guys, if you're looking for the best value vehicle on the road at around $40,000, I think you found it. Powerful 6-cylinder engine, full-size SUV level of space, nimble handling, good looks, and a really well-loaded interior. I mean, these seats feel just like leather. They look like leather. These touchscreens or touchscreen and digital gauge display look very modern and high-tech. Solid sound system. Just an overall fantastic vehicle at around the $40,000 price point. If it's not loaded enough for you, you can go to the higher trims, get the upgraded sound system, moonroof, genuine leather seats, so on and so forth. But if you're looking for the bargain brand, you don't want cloth seats, you want some nicer materials, but you don't want to pay more than 40,000 bucks, this LXS is a must check out van, SUV, whatever you like to call it. It is a really impressive vehicle. And a big thanks to George at Century Kia in Tampa, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car or SUV in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out, and ask for George. And a huge thanks to all you guys for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you. and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too, it really helps me out, the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment, let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.